Let's check today's top stories. And Australia's plan to expand its defence capabilities hasn't gone unnoticed by China. The federal government plans to spend $19 billion to ensure our military is ready to deal with the increasing risk of conflict within our region. But Beijing's reacted by declaring it doesn't pose a military threat to anyone.
We hope the relevant country will not hype the groundless China threat narrative and make China an excuse for their military expansion.
Father Bob Maguire will be farewelled with a state funeral. His family has accepted the Victorian government's offer following his death last week at the age of 88. The much-loved larrikin priest will be given a public send-off at Melbourne's St Patrick's Cathedral. A date is yet to be set. And have you ever heard of the unique sport of rock stacking? Well, you might just be surprised to know a father and son from Sydney are the world champions. Anthony Yuha and 12-year-old Casper won 3 gold medals, a silver medal as well, at a recent Earth Art Festival in Texas. Anthony set a new world record in the quantity category, but Casper was the star of the festival, beating all the grown-ups, including his dad, to win the balance category. Please welcome champion rock stackers Anthony and Casper. Congratulations, you two. Dad and son rock stars. You've got the medals there as well, right?
Yeah.
Give us a look. Hey, what does it take to become a champion rock stacker?
Lots of practice and concentration.
Mm-hmm. Is that about right, Dad?
Yeah. Patience, preparedness to spend an hour making something that's just going to collapse the moment you walk away. So you can't be too taken by this thing lasting forever. It's only going to last for a short time.
Anthony, Casper, I understand the discipline that would be needed to be a champion rock stacker. In my mind, it works more as a practice of mindfulness, right? So how is this a sport and how big is it as a sport?
Yeah, it's probably more of an artistic endeavour than a sport. This festival is a land art festival where people come and make beautiful installations, so rock stacks and mandalas and things, weaving wood and other things. So the competitive element is a very small part of the festival. Some of the best people, like this guy who makes this stuff, he doesn't compete. He's sort of risen above the competitive level. But we come in all the way, fly to Texas. We want to come home with some gold medals for Australia.
Oh, that would be all right. We'd love gold in rock stacking. That'd be another thing the country could get behind. With all due respect, boys, it is a very strange sport. I wasn't that much across it, believe it or not.
You've never heard of it, have you?
I'd never heard of it, no. How did you guys get started? Did you just see a few rocks one day and think, hang on, that's the cut of my jib?
Pretty much. There were some rocks near where we live, started playing with them at night a little bit, and then we went camping somewhere where they had really beautiful river stones. And that's when you start, the rocks are so beautiful, anyone could make something beautiful by just putting them up. And you start putting them on social media, then people start sending you some of the world-class stuff they see, and saw the festival from that and ended up going.
So you're obviously into what I think we can agree is a fairly niche activity. Are you like world champions in anything else we should know about that we hadn't perhaps considered as being a world champion event?
Well, not world champions, but we are champion Monopoly players as well, which is...
What? What do you mean?
A very different... I've been to the Australian Championships a few times and in very sort of world-class Monopoly play. I never made the Worlds, but the World Monopoly Championships are due. They're really due now because of COVID. They were put off, so we'll see. So I kind of expected Casper to take over my place in the Monopoly scene before the World's rock stacking scene. But yes, we do that too.
I love that there's a Monopoly scene.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. But what I don't get is this rock stacking thing. It's very peaceful. It's mindfulness. It's all about nature. Monopoly is a game of deceit and skullduggery.
That's right.
Who exactly are you, Anthony?
It is. Yeah, there are many parts to me. That's right.
Fellas, congratulations again. It is truly a huge thing that you've just done. Anthony and Casper, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
fascinating world. Like, I wonder which community is cooler, the rock stacking community or the Monopoly community.
Yes.
They're not mutually exclusive, Sam. They're both. Both
Well,
of them.
they're in the overlap, but how many people are in that overlap, do you think?
Cool
Yeah.
people. Well,
Cool people, sorry.
I mean, it's a big party community. That's what I've heard. They really give it a nudge.
More news now, and the Melbourne Comedy Festival has had a change of heart. It says it will now plan a fitting tribute to the late Barry Humphries, but it appears Dame Edna has had the last laugh. Her tongue-in-cheek tribute to Barry has been published in a UK newspaper. Dame Edna wrote that Barry may have given her start, but she became the star and he was merely a footnote to her spectacular career. She also paid her respects to his, quote, lovely family, unfortunate wives and numerous stage-struck research assistants. We could see the gap between rich and poor widen even further amid forecasts Australia's housing market slump is all but over. The latest property data already shows an upward trend. Westpac's chief economist expects property prices will rise 5% next year, something that will put even more pressure on an already tight rental market.
We're fighting inflation. We're raising interest rates, but of course that actually means you're going to get less supply of housing onto the markets. So one of the things that's driving inflation, which is rental prices, is just going to get worse.
And the English seaside resort of Blackpool is famous for its cheeky seagulls, but they've become so brazen they're even stealing food from the enclosures and visitors at Blackpool Zoo.
Great.
So how about this? The zoo is taking action by hiring human seagull deterrents.
Yes.
Highly scientific, as you can see. That is the catch. You have to, if you want to be a successful candidate, you have to be cool with wearing the bird costume.
That's insane.
I don't understand this. Why can't they just put statues there?
Have you?
No, they need it to run. You need it to run around and
No,
chase
but hang on.
away the sea.
If the running is the
seagulls.
thing, why do they need the outfit?
Well, but
Have you ever
I have no
had a
answer.
seagull,
I
a
have no
gull,
answer.
rip something out of your hand?
It is dangerous.
Yes, it's
I was holding a sandwich and the bird took it and just flew off.
Yeah.
And I was
They're
like, well, that
greedy.
was chicken, so, you know, you lose.
That's on you.
Yeah.
If only you had the terrifying bird there, this man bird to stop you.
But why couldn't it just be you? I mean, I'm on to what you're saying, Wally.
Yeah.
If it's just you, if you just got to run and chase away the birds,
This
why do
seems
you need
like-
the eagle
this
costume?
Seems like the outfit is superfluous and just designed to humiliate the poor people
Yeah.
doing good work.
Because I read further, apparently the pay's low, but not as low as your self-esteem will be after you do it.
Is that in the conditions?
That is in the conditions, yeah. You've got to be coming into the sun.
Time for more of today's top stories, and large crowds have gathered at Gallipoli to mark 108 years since the Anzac landings. More than 1,600 people attended the dawn service at Anzac Cove, paying tribute to those who never made it home. Michael Ludders came all the way from Gladstone in central Queensland, carrying his great-great-grandfather's war diary. He says it was an emotional experience.
It's the stoicism of people that just keep going and going and going when us mere mortals would throw the towel in, and they never threw the towel in.
Nearly 2,000 people also gathered at Villers-Bretonneux in France to honour the tens of thousands of Anzacs who died on the Western Front. Collingwood might have beaten Essendon in today's Anzac Day clash by 2 goals, but it was the Bombers' Kyle Langford who was the winner after this encounter with a Pies supporter. Langford was awarded a free kick, but the fan just dropped the ball at his feet. Langford's response was perfect. He slotted the goal from a tight angle and made sure the Pies fan knew all about it. Watch this.
Oh my.
Here it comes.
Isn't it just the worst when you celebrate too early? Or like you really give it to the other team and then they have the perfect opportunity just to be like, what? I told you.
Can I just observe that the Pies fan didn't just drop the ball at his feet?
Threw it.
There were other things that followed that.
That he
Very
did.
important part of that story.
But in the end, you know, he's laughing because they won. Also today in the other huge Anzac Day match, it was the Roosters that defeated
Wait.
your beautiful
Yes.
Dragons.
were you-
By
I didn't know
1
the score.
point. Sorry,
One
I'm just telling
point?
you. 1
Yes.
point. 1 point. 1
You
point.
just hear when people are laughing at me in the
Cheering.
studio.
I know.
1 point.
I know.
They actually weren't laughing at you, but you invited them to, so that was good.
Listen up, Sam, this might help you out. No amount of tomato sauce is going to comfort lovers of hot chips when they hear this. A new study has found that fried foods, especially fried potatoes, have been linked to an increased risk of anxiety and depression. But researchers say it actually just might work the other way around. People experiencing symptoms of depression or anxiety might turn to fried foods for comfort. And why wouldn't you? There is so much goodness in that golden, crunchy bit of potato.
I like to sit outside Macca's and just go up to people and say, "Are you okay?"
You can only do that on Are You OK?
Chips.
I don't like this at all. This is not... Why are you putting all this mental health on the chips? They haven't done anything wrong.
No,
they're trying to help
for
out.
us, aren't they?
Also, the seagulls must be the most depressed birds in the world.
Have you seen the people that they need to chase them away?
No, this is ridiculous, isn't it? I would rather have mental health issues and eat chips.
What about Waleed? He's just not a chip lover.
Sorry, this is the biggest discussion.
Come on, can we not overstate
You should
this?
hand back your gold logie. Because everyone should love chips. They're delicious.
Because all the potato farmers, they were the big voting bloc I got.
Yes, they are. Probably.
I like chips. I'm just not one of those people that has to have them. But once I get in,
Chicken salt, salt and vinegar.
Yeah, they're all excellent things, Sarah. I don't know what you'll do. Anyway, Sam.